Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. It is the second reading of this Thursday afternoon. This is the day, if you're catching this later, that the news broke that Harry's book called Spare will be published on the 10th of January. I am using the Halloween tarot today in both the readings I'm doing on this book because, of course, we're in Halloween season, but also it's got ghosts in it, and the book is, of course, written by a ghost writer and dredging up the ghost of the past, as one does at Halloween. So I'm going to be doing a reading now. I've already done a general read on Harry and the book, and I'm going to have to pause and climb under the table. I had to fetch the 3 of Pentacles out from under the table. I've done a reading on Harry and how it's going to go for Harry and how he's feeling and his promo and all of that, the book tours and things like that. Doesn't look like it's going to be going particularly well. Every time I say that word particular now, I think of the wife and that ridiculous podcast of hers. And because I'm expressing opinion on how ridiculous the podcast is, let's remind you that this is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes or just my opinion. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Using the Halloween tarot, we're going to look at the public response, one more shuffle, to this book. We're going to see how Americans and Brits might be divided in their response, potentially. We look at book sales, book reviews, how the public's opinion of Harry might shift as a result of this book. So a 7-card reading that I'm going to do, and with the Halloween tarot, and we'll just get a feel for the public response. The book is on sale on Amazon. You can pre-order it for something like $36. The audio CD, $50. Half price already in the UK on Waterstones. I won't be buying it. From the comments on the Daily Mail, most people commenting won't be buying it either. But let's just have a look. The public. We'll look at other people in the days to come, days and weeks and months and possibly even years. 7-card reading. I had to have a think about what I'm doing. There we go. I'll explain the cards as we go along. And that's the book sales, that's the book reviews, and this is the before, and this is the after energy of this book, the Spare. We get the 2 of Bats, which is the 2 of Swords in this Halloween tarot. That's a holding, people are it's a wait and see attitude for most people, okay? People like you and me, you've, I'm sure, made up your minds about this book ages ago. But most people who are vaguely aware that has written a book, well, a ghostwriter has written a book for him, are going to not be so invested in it and not prejudging. They're going to be sitting there waiting to see which way the wind blows, waiting to see whether it's worth buying or not. They are delaying a decision. They are just waiting to see. So that's interesting, that it's still possible to sway that opinion one way or the other, which the publicists, try and say that word again. I'll put the card somewhere where we can actually see it a little bit. Let's put it over there. Underlying energy. There it is. The publicists, the PR people, still have a possibility of swaying opinion with that card. With the 2 of Bats, I'm going to stick it over there. It's irritating me. It's irritating me that people are so indecisive. They should have made up their minds by now to denounce it, of course. But anyway, there is such a thing as free will, I suppose. Let's see. A signifier for the public's view of this card right now, and that's the 5 of Imps in reverse. That's the 5 of Wands. It's the fighting card. The scrambling to the top of the heap, the dung heap card, up the greasy pole card, competing against people who are in close proximity to you. This is what this 5 of Imps is about. They see it, but they also see the public want this fighting to stop. Let's put it like that. They want this conflict in the royal family. It upsets them. It upsets him as if an argument in any family is upsetting, or any close group of friends. When friends fall out, when a friend group, something goes wrong in a friend group, or in a family circle, or in a small office, when you're all there every day and you all care about each other, and then suddenly something goes wrong for some reason, and it happens in life, it does. Suddenly, out of the blue, someone gets involved with someone everyone else hates, or something like that, which is the case that's happened here, let's just say. And it brings all kinds of weird hostilities to the surface. It's very difficult to navigate, and it's why things like mediation happen, and has been, dumb as he is, suggested mediation. But suggested mediation, he is the one that's caused all the problems. He is the one that's felt aggrieved all of this time. And to suddenly sort of helicopter a mediator into someone like the royal family is insane. But when these kinds of things go wrong and you end up in a divorce situation and you've got children and stuff, you don't want to go to court, you go to mediation. I don't know why I'm going on about mediation, but it's as if people are looking at this, because we're talking about the public's view of it now. I always say to people when they're thinking of going to courts about things, don't. Because when you go to court, you break things forever. Unless, of course, you absolutely have to for some reason. But in the vast majority of cases, you don't. And this is what people are looking at and saying, why is he fighting so much? Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Get over it. Make peace with these people. They are your family. So we're starting with Americans. Because west of the Atlantic, east of the Atlantic, I guess, that's why I did it. Checking my geography in my mind quickly. Yeah, I think I'm right. Ace of Bats in reverse. That is the Ace of Swords in reverse. They think that he is lying. Lying. They don't like it, or they aren't going to like it. Those of you, we include anyone on that vast continent, not just Americans, but the Ace of Swords in reverse, they are going to be critical of it. They are going to say it is vague, it's wishy-washy, it's cruel, it's mean, it's lying, it's damaging. Brits are going to say, please make up. Please make up. They're not going to be saying, oh, we love you, Harry. It's make up. And I'm saying that because of this card here. It's sitting like an underlying energy. They're going to be saying, we need you to make up, and we need you to make up with your brother. We really need it. They need it for their sense of family, for their sense of what the royal family is. If the royal family can't figure this out, how the hell can anyone else, really? With all their money, all their resources, all their experts and their secretaries and their whatevers they've got. Equerries and I don't know. Make up. Make up. Please, make up. So, book sales. Generally for everyone, book sales. That's the Three of Cups. People are going to read it. It's going to do quite well. It's going to do quite well. People are going to read it. It's a party. It's a celebrate card. So there's going to be interest in it. That people are going to say, yeah, it's almost like book club kind of thing. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. It's going to be a book club hit. Spend the money. We can all have a drink. We can all take turns to read it and laugh about it and whatever. There's going to be that kind of energy around it. It's not going to be scandal and horror and, oh no, I'm not going to buy it. There's going to be curiosity. There's going to be office gossip, sort of water cooler thing. Have you read that book? Yeah, I might secretly buy it and download it on my Kindle and read it with a glass of wine. So there is going to be interest, and there are going to be sales. This is not 10 of Pentacles. This is not huge. This is more gossipy. This is more in social settings. So somebody in the family might buy a copy of it, or I was going to say give it to someone for Christmas, but no, can't because it's not out. You could pre-order it, of course, and you get the Christmas present that's coming on the 10th of January. But it's that sort of gossipy energy. So yes, going to buy the book, but as I say, if someone in the family buys it, or among friends buys it, they'll pass it around. So they're not all going to buy it. Reviews. How are the reviews going to go? Strength. It's going to get positive reviews. It's going to get very positive reviews. And I think he's an extremely accomplished writer, J.R. Moehringer. So it'd be surprising if it got negative reviews from that point of view. But it does seem as if he's clipped out the nasty, the particularly nasty stuff that he wrote. And that does seem to be the case in the previous reading and in other readings I've done on the book recently. It does look like he has walked back a lot of the nasty stuff that he has said. They're going to be praising him for his courage in addressing difficulties that he's been through, his drinking, his addiction, his depression, all the rest of it. He's, I think, going to be very frank about how difficult his life was, and how poorly he handled the situation, and how he has now, come of age and wised up and strengthened and matured and all that blah, blah, blah. So he's going to get positive reviews. He's going to get very positive reviews. So it doesn't look like it's going out to destroy the royal family, because if I think it was, he would be pilloried in the reviews. It looks like more he's going to really hurt his father in the way he says his father neglected him and he was left to flounder and become an alcoholic and a drug addict and sex addict and whatever other kind of addict he is or was or whatever. And it's going to be all praise Meghan Markle to a certain extent as well, because look at them there. Although she does seem to be causing some trouble. Just saying, previous reading, if you haven't watched it, she did show up in the reading. So, opinions. How are people's opinions going to shift as a result of this book? This is the before book. This is the after book. Before book, the magician. People think that he is pretty much playing a game. He's got all these resources. He's got all these PR people. That's the big PR thing. I don't ever look at the magician and think people like that card. People think when they see the magician, you've got an agenda, you're trying to pull the wool over our eyes with something, because that's what magicians do, quite literally, trick you. So they think he's tricky before the book. Think he's tricky? How do they feel afterwards? Afterwards, wow, that's the Tower. But it's the Tower in reverse. And there's two ways of reading that card. And I'm going to have to take a clarifier. Because it can mean that he's rebuilding his life, or perhaps their opinion of him starts to come together again after that catastrophe that is Megxit and all the rest of it. And his opinion, his popularity has taken a severe beating in the past few years. So they could look at him and think, well, at least he's trying to piece his life back together again, and we give him credit for that. Or it could be, you are ruined and destroyed and you are finished. So a clarifier, please, for the Tower in reverse. People's opinion of Harry. Is it destroyed forever, or good on you? You are working hard to fix yourself. And, whoops, okay, we'll take that one. And so, just flew out. We get the Eight of Cups in reverse. Now, the Eight of Cups is, of course, the walking away from sorrow and heartache card, leaving it behind you, moving on, healing from it, saying, I'm not going to stick in that gloomy energy. I'm off to happier times. I'm moving away from the ghosts. But I'm stuck with the ghosts, with the Eight of Ghosts in reverse. They're going to think he cannot let the past go, because this card's in reverse. There's the moon looking down. It's Diana looking down. She is the moon. looking down at these ghosts all mucking around still with her memory, with what her loss did to him. And people are going to be looking at him and saying, you need to recover from this. You need to rebuild yourself after what happened to you. But you can't. You aren't. You're stuck in this gloomy energy, dwelling on your loss, on your pain. Please, please stop. There's a huge energy in this reading of stop it. Stop fighting. Make peace. Stop lying. Stop being cruel and vicious. Make your peace. But not. People seeing that he isn't, that he somehow hasn't healed for all this brave talk of the strength card and the mastery and the man that he has become and blah, blah, blah. Not going to fool anyone. They're not going to end up hating him. Worse for him, I think. They're going to end up pitying him. I'm thinking he's a wretch that just really, so many gifts, so much potential, and can't seem to acknowledge that and be grateful. There's a distinct lack of gratitude in here. So that is the reading. We'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, magician turned into a tower. Ultimately, that's the trajectory that these cards are telling me. Thanks for watching these readings, and I will hopefully see you all again soon.